Oftentimes, our minds get so bogged down with everyday life, the stressors of being an entrepreneur, the overstimulation of content that creates a creative roadblock in our minds. It's so easy to overthink every aspect of creating a wedding film that is emotional, that's inspiring, and award-winning. And because just getting started can oftentimes be the hardest part, today I'm going to offer 10 ways that you can push past the paralysis by analysis mindset to help you on the path to creating beautiful, heart-fashioned wedding films that inspire you and your couples will crave. Tip number 1 is to work backwards, not forwards. If you ever find yourself in a rut trying to find your story, work backwards, not forwards. For wedding films, it can help spark inspiration starting with the end of your story. That means the send-off, the ceremony exit, the reception highlights even. Whether you are seeking to build excitement or anticipation, starting with the end in mind can help you kickstart your wedding film in an exciting way. Tip number 2 is to start with a moment. You have 8 seconds to make a strong first impression within your story. And in the world of wedding films, this is the most important. In those 8 seconds, new potential couples will decide whether they are invested in this story or if they should move on to something more interesting. So start with a moment from the wedding day that was emotional, that's funny, inspiring, beautiful, or visually interesting, something that's quirky that you can use as the opener to your film. This can help you set the tone, highlight the character's personality, and give you a solid foundation to build off of. Tip number 3 is music sparks inspiration. For me, music really is the driving force in every creative decision that I make within my films. By just listening to music, it helps me when I am in a creative rut, unsure where to start, and how I really should structure my film. If you are unsure which direction to take when navigating the editing process, it never fails to use a song that has a ton of energy to kickstart your film. Especially if your couple is expecting you to really highlight the excitement and joy and party vibe from the reception. Couple loves the feeling this portrays, and it really starts your film off in a powerful and exciting way. Tip number 4 is to edit chronologically and then pivot. The truth is, when you are struggling with editing block, which is the equivalence of writer's block, the answer really is as simple as you just have to start. And I know it's frustrating hearing that, but it's really true. The easiest way to get started with your wedding film is treating it like a puzzle. So edit your film in chronological order and then pivot. Because once your storyline is laid out, it's a lot easier to move moments around to make your film much more interesting. Or if your couple doesn't want anything fancy, then sometimes chronological is the best approach. Always lean on your couple's goals for their film, and this can help you make the right decisions. Tip number 5 is to outsource your wedding films. Now, if you're newer to videography, or if your strengths really lie in capturing footage rather than editing it, then outsourcing to a specialized editing team like UNCUT Gems can actually elevate your end product. For some people, it's not just about maintaining the quality, it's really about enhancing it. So one way to eliminate the paralysis by analysis mindset is by delegating your editing needs to a specialized team. And right now you can do that if you head over to UNCUT Gems. You can get up to 75% off on your first edit. So go to uncutgems.com and use code Wayward75 at checkout so that you can kick that backlog in the face and get back to being excited about your business. Tip number 6 is to stop overthinking. I am a classic overthinker. I literally overthink everything. And when I'm in the editing room and I'm starting to edit my wedding film, this is where paralysis by analysis really starts to attack me. So the way to combat this mindset is to develop a structured workflow. So start by culling your footage and organizing it into manageable sections. And once that's settled, just trust your gut and stop revisiting the same clips over and over. You want to prioritize progress over perfection. Not to say that this wedding film won't be perfect, but you want to be moving forward instead of being stale and causing yourself more anxiety because you feel like you haven't made any progress. Which leads me to tip number 7, and that is to take a break. We all run into creative roadblocks from time to time, and we honestly aren't meant to be staring at a computer screen all day, every day. So get up, drink some water, go for a walk, play with your dog, spend time with family, whatever it is that you do to help you just decompress and relax your mind so that when you come back to the editing room, you just have a fresh perspective so that you can get back into that creative flow. Tip number 8 is to get feedback. One of the best ways to make better wedding films and grow as a storyteller is to get feedback and constructive feedback from other filmmakers, or anyone that is willing to watch your wedding film and give you some advice on what it might need. Because you don't know what you don't know, and if you're feeling trapped or stuck within an edit, sometimes a fresh pair of eyes can really be the deciding factor for your next decision within this film. Tip number 9 is to stop including everything. Some of my favorite wedding films that I've created or that I've seen are ones that hardly focus on a lot of the traditional moments that we oftentimes capture at a wedding. The truth is, your film doesn't always need shots like the cake cutting or prep or the montage of the bridal party entering the reception hall or the family photos, unless it directly impacts the story that you're trying to tell. Consider using moments that focus on your couple's personality and their heart, and that really captures the essence of who they are. Instead of stressing out about trying to meet the desired length, seek to create a powerful story that has meaning and intention inside every single frame. And tip number 10 is to lean on your couple. The last tip, and while this one is something that took me a long time to really fully grasp, because at the end of the day, I want to make films that speak to me, that inspire me, possibly other filmmakers, but we have to really remember the heart of what this film really is and who it's for. While you should always cater to the artist inside you, you should also lean on your couple's goals first. If you lean on their goals and expectations and let go of trying to create for other filmmakers, you can be free to create something that's truly bespoke and beautiful for your couple. And I do this by getting to know my couple through the consultation and through the wedding day questionnaire. Hearing more about their hearts, about what films of mine really spoke to them so that I could create something that has a similar mood and style. And the truth is, you don't have to go through this wedding film alone. You can lean on your couple's goals because truth is, they've probably given you a ton of inspiration through their keywords and through all of the things that they are most excited about seeing inside this wedding film. So lean on your couples to craft their story in a powerful way. And if you liked this video about the 10 tips on how to never struggle with a wedding film again, you might like this other film up here that talks about the 8 shots that every wedding filmmaker should know. Thanks again for tuning in, and as always, keep creating and telling beautiful stories. Peace.